Welcome to Get Real with Eddie, where we delve deep into the world of real estate with your host, the designated managing broker of Exit Real Estate Specialist, Eddie Ruettiger.
And here we go, off and running this morning, talking about real estate. Of course, I am Eddie Ruettiger from Exit Real Estate Specialist. And as always, in the studio with me is Nancy Vallee. How are you?
I'm well.
Are you done fighting with the microphone?
This Mike and I are not friends.
No, I don't think you guys are. You guys
definitely not
are
friends.
definitely having a little dispute this morning.
Yes.
So have another cup of coffee and relax.
Chill.
Make an
Chill.
adjustment there. All right, there we go.
Okay.
So
Because it's beautiful outside.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say this is my weather.
it's been so nice the last couple days. It's been so nice. It really has. I am loving the weather. So, and little man made his first communion over the weekend.
Aw, yeah, I saw
And it was gorgeous. We had great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day post to all the moms out there and grandmas and et cetera and et cetera and et cetera.
All those who act like moms.
Yep. So some of the dads that have to be a mom and
Right. Everybody who
Yep.
takes that
Role.
spot,
Yep.
takes on that role. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. So I got to say this. The kid cracks me up. He loves cake and he loves having candles on his birthday cake.
Mm-hmm.
So we got candles for him.
Like every kid.
Yeah.
Loves candles. Yeah.
He got the whole group that was at his party for First Communion. Instead of singing Happy Birthday,
Happy Communion
Happy Communion Day.
to you.
Yes. You gotta love this kid. I'm just saying.
He works it.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he definitely works it.
He does. That he does. All right. So I really wanted to dive in because this market I think is just brutal right now. I've got clients that are literally,
I would agree.
they're crying. It's just so, but it's the tale of two markets. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the news and you're hearing one story, but if you're not paying attention, you're missing the other aspects. And that is the local. You're missing the local market.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Because in other states and in other areas, there is inventory loosening up. I was reading an article about rentals in Austin. They've done so much building that prices are starting to abate, and and things are happening there in Austin. And Florida's having their own issues with housing, and things are starting to loosen up there. But here, whole different story.
So I wanted to touch back on buyer's market versus seller's market first as we get into this, okay? In a buyer's market, there are a lot of homes for sale. Not many people are looking to buy. Few buyers competing for these homes. That means generally they sit on the market longer and they might not sell for as much as they would in a seller's market. They may sell for less than the property sold for the year before, all right? So usually accompanying a buyer's market is price decreases in the marketplace. We saw this during the Great Recession, okay?
Yeah.
On a flip side, in a seller's market, there aren't enough homes for sale for the number of buyers who are trying to purchase them. Homes sell faster. They sell often for multiple offers, they often get multiple offers, and prices shoot higher because there's more buyers willing to pay over the list price. So it's just the exact opposite. It comes down to supply and demand is what it is. It is a true supply and demand aspects out there. So keeping that in mind, I move and saw this article. Why buyers are more likely to get concessions right now. Okay. Now we ran this and you can get concessions. All right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially in areas where inventory is rising, both home builders and sellers are sweetening the deal for buyers with things like paid closing costs, mortgage rate buy downs, and more. In the industry, it is called concessions or an incentive. All right? So a concession is something the seller gives upon or agrees in order to reach compromise and close the deal.
Like a home warranty, for example.
Great example. Agrees to in a compromise. Yeah, that would be a good example.
Well, that's the incentive.
Yeah, I think that's more of an incentive. Yeah,
That's what my point was.
Yeah.
A concession would be like taking care of a drippy faucet.
Yes. Yeah. An incentive, on the other hand, is a benefit a builder or seller advises and offers up front to attract or encourage it. That would be the home warranty. That would be a rate buy down. That would be, hey, we're going to offer closing costs up front, where the concessions are closing costs later or instead of repairs. So these are the aspects that we're looking at. So some of the most common ones like I said, was closing cost, mortgage rate buy downs, discount or price reductions, upgrades or appliances included. See, now I don't know.
Now that would be more new build.
Yeah, see, but here's the thing. I think we're in a marketplace where appliances are almost assumed they're coming with the property.
It's unusual to not come with the property.
Now, that doesn't mean they have to. But I do think when you're not including them, you're going to struggle as a seller in many situations. Because now the property's not move-in ready.
Right.
So, and then home warranties and minor repairs. So these are some of the typical ones, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right? They can help reduce the upfront cost associated with the purchase of a home. So, with that being said, you're seeing builders are trying to make it easier to buy. Zonda says incentives continue to be popular in March, offered by builders on 57% of to-be-built homes and 47% of quick-and move or QMI homes, which can likely be occupied within 90 days. So you're seeing builders being very aggressive on this.
Yeah, 74%. I think you said 47.
74.
74
are doing quick incentives on quick move-ins.
Yes, which is very aggressive.
Yeah.
74.
74%, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so with that being said, this is where you're seeing the market at. Now, I think part of that is true for our market, but part of it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
The part of it that I think is true is the agreements and concessions after they're under contract. I'm seeing sellers more likely to negotiate out repairs and inspection issues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing sellers, builders are separate, but I'm not seeing sellers doing upfront concessions, doing properties that are offering home warranties. That I'm not seeing. So the upfront stuff I'm not seeing at all.
No, not in a traditional market. There are with builders, I'm seeing upfront stuff.
Yeah, well, and builders are trying to incentivize, well, this is why you should come do new construction versus pre-existing.
Right.
So that's a huge aspect on the building side. Which gets me into the article you pulled up over the weekend and kicked over to me.
Yeah. Thank you, Chicago Tribune.
Married to the rate, Chicago housing market gets off to slightly busier start early in 2025. So this talks about how it is very, very competitive actually in the suburbs.
Yeah, and for a number of reasons. And the beginning of this article points out this whole married to the rate, but not the way you think. The lower rates, they use an example of a family as an example who bought during 2021 where the rates were very low. And of course, their family has grown now and they're ready to move. and the trials and tribulations of trying to get a home, get a bigger home, go through the affordability issues of that home, of that home. And being that that's a stumbling block.
It is a huge stumbling block right now. It is a huge problem, with these rates. And I think the rates are going to start shifting and coming down. I just don't think they're going to come down at what the speed we thought they were going to come down at. I just don't see.
Yeah, they're not going to come down fast.
No.
They're going to come slow.
Yeah, it's
Very,
going to
very
be
slow.
very slow, a lot slower than I thought. I don't think we'll be under 6% by the end of the year.
Nope. I'll be shocked if we're really even consistently in the low sixes.
Well, I've seen some 6.25s, 6.3s.
But that's why I said consistently.
Yeah.
Because we do pop down and then we pop up a little bit.
Yes.
And, but like just really consistently.
So.
Yeah, because I think I saw VA and FHA were both 6.25-ish low.
So, Tommy Choi, president of Illinois Realtors, states, this market isn't slowing, it's evolving. And those who adapt are winning. And that's the thing, is if you're a buyer in this market that is cash-strapped, FHA buyer, and you can't come in with a windfall down, you can't do a wave of appraisal gap. This is a hard market.
I'm even seeing resistance to, which is weird to me, but resistance to contingent on close, contingent on sale properties. As hot as the market is,
Makes no sense.
makes no sense to me.
And I think we're being our own worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You can turn around, take a contingent on sale. You can turn around and get yourself in a closing date that you are comfortable with instead of rushing this. And then you can turn around and, close the home, sell the home. And in the meantime, that buyer has now put their home on the market to open up for the next person, which may be the home that you want to buy. It could be a round robin. I've never seen that happen, but it is technically possible.
Yeah.
Where I'm selling my house, the buyer's buying my house. That buyer's getting their house bought by another buyer, but I'm buying that buyer's house.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a circle. But
Technically, yeah.
and that's the thing. These lack of, in my opinion, taking contingent on sale and contingent on closed, especially contingent on closed, they're under contract. Where are they at in the deal?
Yeah. If they're far enough along in the deal, like they're already through inspection, and they're just waiting for the loan to cook, why wouldn't you take that deal?
Yeah. Yeah, especially considering since they're coming in with a contingency on sale. They're coming in probably putting a significant amount of money of cash down. There's a significant amount of cash that can come down. But this is the tale of the two markets. This is the issue where you're seeing national news talking about, you can ask for everything in the kitchen sink as a buyer. But in our market, that's not the reality. And there's a lot of markets out there.
Yeah.
Especially in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some other markets, like you talked about, Florida, California, stuff like that. There's room for negotiation. But in our local market, this is huge. It is completely huge. So, monthly home sales in Chicago, Illinois went up between February and March. National sales fell 5.9 over the same period. NAR confirmed to the Trib that the slide was the biggest month-to-month decline since 2022.
And that it was the slowest March in terms of sales since 2009. I find that very interesting.
I'm wondering why. Is it just our lack of inventory, you think?
You can't sell it if it's not if it's not there. You know
I
what
mean, but I mean, I'm wondering why we're so busy while everybody else is so crazy.
I think it has to do with the price point.
Well, and we get into that later on in the show on another thing you sent me. Because one of our communities just came in as one of the most affordable areas in the country. The entire country, where this community is like top 10.
Yeah. And I think that plays a big point in all this is affordability.
I think you're right. I think it is affordability because we didn't go up. I mean, some communities went up 20%. I get it. But we didn't go up 50, 60, 70% year
like
over
some of these other communities did.
States, yeah. So we're still kind of about the median price of the national, numbers. So I think that's really where it's coming into is it's the affordability factor.
Yeah. And some people moan about taxes in Illinois and stuff, and I get it. But it's still, even though Illinois is notorious for high taxes, we're still more affordable. So, yeah.
Where do you want to look at today? Do you want to look at the county level?
Yeah, let's look at Will County and see what's going on.
All right, because I'm with all this talk about the supply and demand, I want to see where the county's at and what the county is putting out when it comes to showings per listing. All right, compared to 2019.
Yeah.
I really want to look at that number because I'm thinking it's going to be more than we anticipate. If I can get into the system here.
It's going to be interesting because I feel like the people that are there are no tire kickers out there. Now, usually this time of year, there's not a ton anyway, but they want to buy.
Yes.
Buyers that are out there want to buy.
All right. So median sales price for Will County in April is up 7.6%. So we're up 7.6% year over year. Now keep in mind, in 2019, April, median sales price was $225,000 for Will County. We are
so crazy
now $355,000. 6 years. 355,000.
That's just crazy.
So,
but it's still not as crazy as some of these other places.
Nope. So, if you look at the average sales price for Will County, that puts you at $399,134, up 6.7%. All right? Market time on the average is 38 days, and that's up 8.6%. So houses are taking a little bit more time to sell. In that, I will say, though, I am seeing more bank foreclosures lately. I've showed a couple. And I haven't showed banks in a while.
Yeah, foreclosures. Yeah, me either.
Median sales price is up 27.3, or median market time is up 27.3% to 14 days. And it's been kind of around that number. You know, it was as low as 8 in September 2021. All right? But keep in mind, going back, April 2019.
Yeah, median market time in April of 2019.
27 days.
Yeah.
We are still way below what I would deem as a normal market.
Yeah. And 2019 was
kind of a seller's market.
It was a brisk little market.
Yeah. So Listing days to contract in Will County, 24 days on the average. On the median, you're looking at 9.
I was going to say 24. No, 9. 9. Definitely.
2019 was 18. It was double.
It was double. And again, that was a brisk market.
But it was the most normalized market we had at the time.
Yeah.
Your month supply is 1.6 months, which is up 23.1% from last year. But again, 2019, 3.1 months in April.
Yeah.
So there's how brisk it was. It was a little brisk little market.
Yeah.
You're 3 months. You're in a seller's market at 3 months inventory.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
It wasn't the hair on fire that we dealt with in 2021.
showings per listing. This is what I'm talking about. In 2019, your showings per listing in April was 5.4 showings they were averaging.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which we considered brisk.
We're averaging 7.7 listing showings per listing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about demand is down. Why? Because it peaked in 2022 at 12 showings per listing and we're down to 7.7. I will argue that no, demand is not down. There is more pent-up demand because people are tapping out of this market. I can't get it under contract. I'm giving up. I'm going to sign my lease for another year. This is ridiculous.
Can't find anything. They go for a year. They can't find anything. We're done. We're going to take a break. There's a lot of frustration. I see a lot of frustration like I did in 2020 and 2021.
A lot of frustration. It is a very frustrating market right now. So, total homes for sale in Will County, crunching the numbers here, is 1,060. That is up 20.5%. There is your good news. There is more property out there today than there has been in the last year.
Yes, which will hopefully alleviate some of this.
And keep in mind that a lot of these buyers have tapped out. So you might miss the first one, you might miss the second one, you might miss the third one. You just got to stay after it.
Just got to keep going.
You got to stay after it because this is the market. Because with this demand, prices are not coming down. Rent is not coming down.
The good thing about it is with the affordability issue, even though you are or may get into multiple offer situations, they're not going 20%, 30% over ask. They're not going these ridiculous amounts over ask because nobody can afford it. So it's a little more reasonable so you can tweak an offer.
Yeah.
And get your foot in the door.
We were going to not write on a house, and I got a phone call from another agent. And he encouraged me highly to write the offer. And the reason why is our buyer was conventional. The seller wanted a conventional offer. So my thought process was they had nothing but FHA offers.
Yeah.
And they want it conventional for whatever reason. It's the seller's decision. I'm not going to sit there. I don't see a problem with an FHA offer. My clients went back and forth, and then decided that no, that's not the property for us, which is fine. I support that decision. But just the fact that you got an agent calling me up, the seller's agent, who's an outstanding agent. I don't want to get into the details of who it is, but it's an outstanding individual. And reaching out to me and saying, hey, would they want a clean, easy deal? This is what they want. If you can go conventional, they'll look at your offer, and they're probably they're not looking for over list price. They want the conventional financing versus the amount of money. And so, yeah, it was interesting to get that call. Great for me because it solidified my relationship with my client, because I'm going back to them saying, hey, the agent's calling me, asking for us to make an offer, and basically telegraphing. So it's an opportunity they might not have had, which was great. But yeah, it's pretty outstanding on what's going on with this market and this competition. The suburbs are pretty viable, and it's pretty much a fight. We are way over. Oh, I didn't even realize that. All right, let's take a hard break. When we get back to the break, we will talk more real estate. Keep it here with Get Real with Eddie.
Welcome to the Lions Club. Being a lion means knowing that kindness matters. We believe in changing the world by serving the needs of our local communities. More than 1.4 million lions around the world are responding to local and global challenges with kindness and care. Come volunteer with us. Your Lions journey starts here. The Crest Hill Lions Club invites you to reach out to your local Lions Club to learn about how you can be a part of a community and bringing passionate, kind-hearted people together to serve local needs. They build relationships that lead to opportunities. In short, when lions serve, life improves, and the community grows. Grow with us. The Crest Hill Lions Club would also like to thank our sponsors who help with our yearly events, such as the car show and picnic at St. Joe's Park, and those who attend and support our Easter egg hunts, Shanahan Bingo, and many more events. The Crest Hill Lions Club meets the first and third Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. For more information on being a lion, go to lionsclub.org to start your journey today. That's lionsclub.org.
It's Eddie Ruettiger from Exit Real Estate Specialists.
And Get Real with Eddie. I want to bring to your attention the Herbert Trackman Planetarium at Joliet Junior College. My son loves this. They offer free shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. It's perfect for stargazers. The show provides excellent astronomical instruction and entertainment for no charge. That's right, it is free on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. The planetarium features a 30-foot diameter dome, a new OmniStar digital planetarium projector. During the shows, you can enjoy sky tours using the projector and PowerPoint presentations covering a wide range of astronomical topics. For more information, please visit jjc.edu/planetarium. And for you educators out there, they are open for field trip bookings. So go to jjc.edu/planetarium.
Are you ready to make your next move in real estate? Look no further than Exit Real Estate Specialists, your innovative leader in the industry. At Exit, we're not just about transactions. We're about building relationships and fulfilling dreams. Step into a community of empathetic, well-trained professionals dedicated to your success. Our Exit Real Estate professionals are more than just agents. They're your trusted advisors and allies in the journey of buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Whether you're selling your home or searching for your next investment, trust Exit to provide an excellent experience from start to finish. Our commitment to putting people first means you receive personalized attention and support, ensuring your real estate goals are met with success. Call us today at 815-823-5478 or visit exitrealestatespecialist.com to learn more. Exit Real Estate Specialists, exceeding your expectations every step of the way.
Doing everything for you except the moving, and be glad. It's Get Real with Eddie.
All right. Staying in this trend, so why are some homes selling faster than others? Let's put our seller's hat on, because I think the poor buyers are getting beat up a little bit. But if you're a seller that's struggling, why is some homes selling faster than others? All right. Redfin states, today's housing market has been topsy-turvy since the pandemic. Low inventory, though rising, and high prices have created a strange mix. Some homes are flying off the market, while others sit for weeks. And this is true. Mm-hmm. You are seeing some aspects to that. That some homes are taking longer to sell, according to Realtor.com.
All right. They're having price corrections, too. Some of them.
Yep, March we were up to the same amount of, actually a little bit more price corrections than March of 2019. But on average, it was close to the same amount. So price corrections are getting back to normal. Mm-hmm. So Realtor.com puts it in perspective. In April, the typical home spent 50 days on the market. This marks the 13th straight month of homes taking longer to sell on a year-over-year basis. Still, homes are moving quickly than they did before the pandemic. That is the key. This is not, we're coming out of a pandemic market. It's a post-pandemic market.
Yeah.
But we are not back to a normal market of any means.
No.
So instead of taking 5 days to sell a house, it's taking 15. Instead of 10 offers on a house, there may be 4 or 5.
Right.
Instead of going 50,000 over list price, people are going 10 to 30, depending on the property.
Yeah. And why are they, to your point or question, why are some going quick and some aren't? I think a lot has to do with price point.
Price is right.
I think a lot has to do with, you've got to price it right. You can't have unreasonable expectations about your house when, my neighbor's house went for X 2 years ago or 3 years ago, or, what is the current condition of your house as compared to what's going on currently in the market?
Redfin explains, my advice to sellers is to price your home fairly for the shifting market. You may need to price lower than your initial instincts to sell quickly and avoid concessions.
Yes. And appraisal. Because things are not appraising like they used to either.
I tell my sellers all the time, I got to sell your house twice.
Yeah.
I got to sell it to the buyer first, but then I got to sell it to the appraiser second.
Mm-hmm.
That's the harder sell to make. That's the harder number to hit.
Yes, because it's based in what actually closed within 1 mile.
And they're looking straight on the numbers, no emotion.
Yeah, this is not an emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a numbers game.
The second aspect is first impressions, I think, are key. Your house isn't cleaned. It isn't. If it does not look like a model home, that's what I tell my clients. When I go in and sit down, you need your house to look like it's a model home.
Yes.
I understand you live there, and I understand I go in them all the time, and they are nowhere near ready. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to showings, that's when it's time to rise and shine.
Yep. So do what you need to do to get it to that point. It really does make a difference.
Yeah.
It will get you more money. It will sell faster. It's just the way it is.
Strong marketing and high quality listing photos. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
No kitty butts in the picture. Just saying.
Toilet seats down.
Toilet seats down. Garbage cans out of the way.
Rugs picked up, in my opinion.
Now, see, I don't mind if they're not scruffy rugs, if they're okay.
The area rug, in my opinion, defines the space and it makes it look smaller in a photo. So a lot of times I take them out.
Yeah, depends.
Also, I want to show off the flooring, especially if it's hardwood. So having
it depends.
Yes.
If you've got a big space, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of those rugs come out. Things off of countertops. You don't need them on a counter.
Clear off your countertops. Clear off your countertops. Depersonalize your space.
Just for the picture. Just for the picture. You can have your coffee maker and all that on there. But when you're talking about the picture, again, it makes counters look smaller.
Yes.
Because it's a two-dimensional image.
Open your blinds and curtains. Turn on all the lights. Get everything ready. Have it prim and pretty.
You got to remember, the agent that's coming through, all right, even your own agent does not know where all your light switches are. And they're searching.
Yeah.
And they're searching. So you need to have, if you have the lights on, you're going to make a bigger impression than having them to search and go for the lights.
Yeah, especially if it's a rainy day or like in the wintertime when it's kind of dreary anyway. Get the lights on, make it light and bright.
And the last thing, this always comes back to completion. And that is, you got to remember, why do some houses sell faster than others? Location, location, location.
Yes.
It is all about the location.
And buyers right now, because they are so strapped and affordability is tight, coming in and having to do a lot of work is not something buyers are entertaining right now. They're not. They're tapping out. They're tapped out when they purchase. They don't have a lot of room. So get your house ready to sell. It doesn't have to be, millionaire luxury property, but it needs to be tidy. Things need to be taken care of. No leaky faucets or toilets or, get it ready.
Absolutely. You got to have it lined up and ready to go. So speaking of lining up and ready to go, I have a property that will be coming to the market soon, 1128 North Hickory in Joliet. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow that is located right on Hickory Street, and it's going to be coming up for $150,000. Needs some work.
Okay.
But $150,000, can't beat it.
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing is you're very close to local shops, restaurants, parks, and giving you easy access to interstate, and you've got schools nearby along with public transportation. So definitely.
Are we talking work or elbow grease, or a little bit of both?
Little both. It needs some cleaning. It needs some painting. It needs some updating. There's definitely some work that needs to be done. Yeah,
Okay.
Could use new siding. So most of the stuff over there is selling for about $250.
Yeah.
So we're at $150 for the work that I think needs to be done.
Okay.
So but it's definitely a property. Should be coming up sometime next month.
All right.
So 1128 North Hickory. Where are we at? What do we want? All right, so Chicago suburb named one of the most affordable cities in the U.S. report finds. We are going to talk about that after we get back from the break. Keep it here with Get Real with Eddie.
It's Eddie Ruettiger from Exit Real Estate Specialists.
And Get Real with Eddie. I want to bring to your attention the Herbert Trackman Planetarium at Joliet Junior College. My son loves this. They offer free shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. It's perfect for stargazers. The show provides excellent astronomical instruction and entertainment for no charge. That's right, it is free on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. The planetarium features a 30-foot diameter dome, a new OmniStar digital planetarium projector. During the shows, you can enjoy sky tours using the projector and PowerPoint presentations covering a wide range of astronomical topics. For more information, please visit jjc.edu/planetarium. And for you educators out there, they are open for field trip bookings. So go to jjc.edu/planetarium.
Are you ready to make your next move in real estate? Look no further than Exit Real Estate Specialists, your innovative leader in the industry. At Exit, we're not just about transactions. We're about building relationships and fulfilling dreams. Step into a community of empathetic, well-trained professionals dedicated to your success. Our Exit Real Estate Professionals are more than just agents. They're your trusted advisors and allies in the journey of buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Whether you're selling your home or searching for your next investment, trust Exit to provide an excellent experience from start to finish. Our commitment to putting people first means you receive personalized attention and support, ensuring your real estate goals are met with success. Call us today at 815-823-5478 or visit exitrealestatespecialist.com to learn more. Exit Real Estate Specialists, exceeding your expectations every step of the way.
Welcome to the Lions Club. Being a lion means knowing that kindness matters. We believe in changing the world by serving the needs of our local communities. More than 1.4 million lions around the world are responding to local and global challenges with kindness and care. Come volunteer with us. Your Lions journey starts here. The Crest Hill Lions Club invites you to reach out to your local Lions Club to learn about how you can be a part of a community and bringing passionate, kind-hearted people together to serve local needs. They build relationships that lead to opportunities. In short, when lions serve, life improves, and the community grows. Grow with us. The Crest Hill Lions Club would also like to thank our sponsors who help with our yearly events, such as the car show and picnic at St. Joe's Park, and those who attend and support our Easter egg hunts, Shanahan Bingo, and many more events. The Crest Hill Lions Club meets the first and third Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. For more information on being a lion, go to lionsclub.org to start your journey today. That's lionsclub.org.
It's Get Real with Eddie, where everyone deserves the opportunity of home.
All right, so you saw this article and you sent it to me. Were you surprised when you saw what municipality it was?
Yeah, I was.
Really?
Well, once I saw it, I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense, but I wouldn't have just thought of it on my own.
I would have thought it would have been one of two. All right, I'm going to tell you what the second one would have been that didn't make the list.
Okay.
And that is, I thought Crest Hill would have been one of them. I think the cost of living in Crest Hill, in my opinion, is even less than this city. And the city that is the most affordable, and this is according to, who made this? The Monty Fool.
Yes, the
Monty Fool. I think
Motley.
Motley, sorry.
Motley Fool.
They missed Crest Hill, but they ranked Joliet 7 out of 10 in affordability.
Relatively low costs of living paired with a median household income above the national average. Yeah.
So the annual cost of living is $68,881 with a median household income of $86,054. So that is a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think this was Chicago Fox News that ran the article, right? Yeah, Fox
Yes.
32.
Yeah, it was Channel 32.
Do people have channels still?
Hmm?
Do they have channels still?
Yeah.
I don't have anything that's a channel anymore because everything's online. So
Yeah. Well, they
they still identify
yeah.
as Fox 32.
And we have an antenna
Do you?
in our attic.
I wanna
so
get
we
one.
get all the local channels.
There's a
I'll give you
lot.
the hookup. There's a company out of Plainfield that will come out and install it. And because we have all the wiring and stuff in the house from cable and everything when the house was built,
Yep.
they tied right into it.
Oh yeah, I got all
It
mine.
so we've got good old-fashioned TV and then some.
The downside is a couple of my TVs
Yeah.
don't have a tuner in them. They don't make a tuner anymore. They're all digital televisions.
Well, that's what we have. We
Yeah.
have the digital television. So you get
No. You can't screw in a coaxial antenna cable to the back of the TV. There's no tuner to tell
Oh.
to 5, 7, and 9. It only does online stuff.
oh.
Yeah. I've got a TV that...
Do they make those?
yes, they make those.
Because ours is digital, and we have like a Roku TV.
Yeah. So Joliet's
Several.
cost of living index is about 6 points below the national benchmark, and the median household income there is 5% above the national median. Its low cost of living is driven by housing costs being 20 points below the national average, according to the Council for Economic and Community Research, Caporal,
And
said.
I think right there tells you why our market is crazy. There's the proof.
That's exactly why it's crazy. This is completely within what we're talking about today, and that it's like just starving out there for listings and trying to get into a property.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go set listings this morning, or I'm sorry, yesterday morning, for properties, and they were on that one. It only was doing showings between 6 and 7:30 Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
When you have, and unfortunately, they're making it available more than one day a week, so there's nothing wrong with that. Where you've got people that, I'm sorry, they're working between 6 and 7:30 Monday through Friday every day. They're not going to get a chance to see that property.
Yeah. Which is, I get it. People have lives. It's very difficult for sellers, but at the same time, take a couple of weeks and do what you can do.
That property
You're
was
doing
not,
yourself a disservice by not opening up that property.
it was not owner occupied.
Oh, okay.
So that's the challenge. There's no vested interest for them to try to do any of that, because it's the tenant was the one that was probably saying, nope, this is when you can show it.
Yeah.
This is why we need to make sure you have a good lease that says, oh no, 24 hours notice.
Oh, yeah.
So
I went through this myself a couple of weeks ago. We're trying to get into a property.
So if you're looking for affordability, Joliet is number 7th in the entire country
Yeah.
for affordability.
And like 4 of them on that top 10 were in Texas, so.
Let's go back. I'm going to go back and look at that top 10. Hold on, because that list was there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We'll go from the bottom up, because it's more fun to do it that way. Charleston, South Carolina, number 10.
There you go. Okay.
Atlanta, Georgia was number 9. Okay, those are some big towns.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City Metro was 8. Joliet, 7.
Yeah.
Here comes the Texas run. Plano, Texas, 6. Austin, Texas, 5.
Which I was surprised because housing, at least during COVID, was extremely expensive in Austin. Yeah, my nephew moved. It was not affordable.
Midland, Texas, which was another one that had a lack of inventory and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Edmond, Oklahoma.
Okay, that makes total sense to me.
Morristown, New Jersey. I don't know where that's at in New Jersey.
East Coast, though,
Is that closer to New York?
yeah,
Well, everything's close to New York and
yeah,
New
I was
Jersey.
going to say it's in Jersey, but I'm surprised because East Coast is pretty expensive. So
McKinley, Texas, number 1. Most affordable place to live in the entire country is McKinley, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but Joliet, number 7. I'm impressed.
Joliet's number 7. With that being said, let's got a few minutes left. Let's talk on housing market forecast for the second half of the year. We're already getting into the second half. I mean, we're in May already.
We're almost halfway through the year. I can't even believe it.
Business Insider sums up the forecast this way. As mortgage rates go down this year, affordability may improve slightly for home buyers. Inventory is also expected to grow, which should help moderate price growth and make finding a home easier. From your lips to God's ears, it's all I got right now. I mean, honestly, I have so many buyers that are just wanting to move.
Yeah.
And it's just so competitive. So the mortgage forecasts down slightly. 2025 year-end 30-year fixed mortgage rate projections. So this is what they're predicting at the end of the year. MBA is 6.7. NAHB is...
That Nancy says. Sorry.
There we go.
Struggle is real.
I'm sure. NAHB 6.53, Zillow 6.5, Fannie Mae 6.2, Wells Fargo, I like Wells Fargo. You like Wells Fargo. 6%. Averaging 6.39. And I'm seeing some 6.5s now. So I think we might be a little bit lower than this. I think we're going to be around 6.25.
I was going to say, I think this is a little high. I think, like you said, I would love to see it consistently at 6.25. I don't. Maybe we'll tap at 6, maybe.
Well, I think some of it comes into the play is, are you going FHA or are you going conventional? And that's the thing. You've got a lot of buyers wanting to go FHA because the FHA rates are a little lower.
They're better rates.
They're better rates. But the sellers don't want to take the FHA offers.
Right, which is, yeah.
So the inventory is going to continue to grow. They also are predicting. Reese Club says the fact that inventory is rising year over year strongly suggests that the national active housing inventory for sale is likely to end the year higher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
That's usually how that works.
Well, I hope so.
So, home prices are moderating. Now, this is the growth of the price. All right? So,
I would agree with that.
they're looking at price. Fannie Mae thinks it's going to go up 4.1. Colati? I never heard of that one. Up 3.3%.
That was
Home price economic surveys 3.3.
Was it CoreLogic?
That changed their name. That's what Corlati now.
Yeah.
Wells, am I saying that right? We'll get back to that. Wells Fargo up 3%, NAR up 3%, MBA 1.3, Zillow down 1.9. I don't think Zillow's right. I think Zillow's there, averaging 2.3. So that's kind of the predictions for the end of the year. I think you're going to see locally, we're going to be higher. We're going to be up about 5%.
Yeah.
Some markets will be 2 to 3%. I saw Romeoville the other day was up 2.3% year over year for April. But yeah, we're going to be up 5. So
yeah, we're that 3-4% easy.
Yep. All right, that wraps it up for Get Real with Eddie. Don't forget, check us out online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at GetRealWithEddie.com. That's GetRealWithEddie.com, talking about your largest investment, your home.
Thanks for listening. Eddie Ruettiger is the designated managing broker and owner of Exit Real Estate Specialists, located at 2750 Caton Farm Road, Joliet. License number 481014247. For questions, call Eddie at 815-823-5478.